aamuk se puukäksas kinimaaks. Aamuk sas kinimaaks. Ai on kaasut peikku ja kaasia kukkua iku taasista piittuut siivuus. Annis si kuist situutu pitää sakuk suotsi. Ai istaa. Kumata pinnaakin, sanoo sitä pinnaan sakkumiita. Aaksa sitä piiksu hattaa kukuuksia, hattaa kussukuuksia. Annin sen jos paakakius. Okeikaan, mutta mistä vatsi? Samipäin. In Blackfoot, we always pray for what sorts gives us life. Life is very important, and we tell about and we give thanks.
My name is Tisha Martley. The name of our dance troupe is the Katai Hongwas, which roughly translates to like Banshee shaking the flowers. So what we're going to be doing for you today is that we're going to be sharing a little bit about the culture and the songs and dances of the Haudenosaunee people of the Six Nations of the Grand River Territory. The songs that we're going to be doing, the dances that we're going to be doing for you today, they are social dances. We will not be sharing any of our ceremonial dances with you. We do still carry on our ceremonies, but it's something that we still hold sacred and we don't share with the public. For the first dance that we're going to be doing for you today is we're going to be doing what's called Old Moccasin Dance. Now, one thing is that I don't think that both the Canadian and American public is aware of is just how much of an influence the First Nations people have had on modern day society. The way, and especially of the nations, the Iroquois is the English term that a lot of people know us by. but the Haudenosaunee people are actually probably one of the most influential because of where we were traditionally located along the St. Lawrence River, along the eastern, the coastal region, from like the Quebec region all the way down. Our influence had extended all the way from the Atlantic Ocean to just west of the Mississippi River, from far up north all the way down into the Florida Everglades. We had a lot of alliances, and so sometimes people refer to it as being a Iroquois empire. When we talk about the Haudenosaunee people or the Iroquois people, we are actually talking about 6 different tribes, and they are the Cayuga, the Onondaga, the Mohawk, the Oneida, the Seneca, and lastly we're talking about the Tuscarora. All of us here today, we are all Tuscarora people. And so anyways, when we talk about the influences, one of the influences that we had was back in the early 1900s, a gentleman had come amongst our people. A lot of times people would come amongst our people and they would have opportunities to participate in our social dances and in our councils, and they would get to see, have the opportunity to see how things work. Well, this man amongst us, he studied our dances, and after some time he was influenced by it, and he went back to where he came from, and he created a style of dance. That man's name was Arthur Murray, and in the 1920s he had created what was famously called the Charleston, and it was influenced by the dance of the moccasin dance and the fish dance. So we're going to be doing a moccasin dance for you. About 30 different types of dances, and the number of songs range from maybe about 10 to over a couple thousand for each type of dance. And all of our dances are carried on from generation to generation. You see here with us, we have 2 of our children, because we don't teach these songs and dances through classes. It's handed down from mother to child, from father to son, and we believe that these songs and dances, they are learned from the time that they're in, well, the mother is carrying the child, and this is how he's learning by being carried, and in that way he's still participating. And also our little guy here, Kochi Jamba Sondiosta, he's 6 years old in the 1st grade right now. And so he's these are our future generations who's going to be carrying this on. The next song that we're going to be doing we are going to be doing, this dance is going to be in honor of the women. It's called the Women's Dance. And that's because in a Haudenosaunee society, the women are held in high esteem. In that sense, we have, is probably our biggest impact on modern society. The idea of equal rights, where women, they have the right to be on par with the men, that comes from the Haudenosaunee people, such as, and those people, the early activists, such as Emily Stowe over here, and in the U.S., Susan B. Anthony, they went to university together. And Susan B. Anthony, she grew up in Rochester, New York, which is right next door to Akron and to the Seneca people there. And so amongst our people, it's the women who select our leaders. I would like to bring Hassan Diosta out here, and he's going to demonstrate a slow war dance. We hope you enjoyed our presentation, and we wish you all a good day.
Very much. My father had his own dog team. We were very rich in food when we had dog teams, but when they took out that dog teams, how is my father going to feed me? How is he, so he had to learn very quickly to work in a white society. He worked with teachers, he worked with politicians, he worked with anything that he can make money with. And I was taught my language as soon as I was born. But when I turned 5, I started to learn their ABCs, to write my name. Teacher would ask me, go to your parents and tell them to help you with your homework. And then, what? My parents never been in school. How are they going to help me? But I was very fortunate that I had older siblings who were already in school. Maybe that's why I got an F.
You're a very traditional Inuit woman and you know women's role,
Yes.
but you're in a contemporary Canadian city.
Yes.
What's the hardest thing for you as a woman?
What? Nothing.
Nothing, yay! Are you teaching your children your traditions?
Well, I still teach them my tradition, but the younger one goes, why are you teaching me this? Like, I'm not going to use it in the future. But I keep telling him, yes, but it is your culture too. So you kind of try and learn Inuit ways as much as you can. Well, I bought his first Inuit garden.
Hello, Sego, Ani. My name is, he carries the strength of 2 buffalo. My spirit name is Bear Cub, or Golai Latuska. Bow making and drum making, that's what I was, the tools that I was given, the trades. I was taught how to do these things by my elders. I guess the best way to get into the explaining of this is how I came to start doing this. I had no idea what they said. Well, I'm like, yeah, I can do that. And they said, no, you can't, but we'll show you. So I sat there and I sat outside and I cooked the deer brains in the water all night. I did the smudge with it and kept that going so that the next day when the skins showed up to make the drum, it would be ready. So I did that. The next day when they showed up with the skins, they showed me how to work with them to get them to go around the drum. The drum round itself, they asked me to help prepare the outside of it. So I got to understand how that drum was made. They showed me the little tricks inside that. And that's how I started with making the drums by the people in the community. So now I've made community drum in Hamilton, and it makes me pretty proud to see everybody drumming on that. And that's how I got that knowledge. For the bow making, after I was done that 1.5 years volunteering there, they told me about a program that was out of Muncie, Ontario, at Kikiwanakan, the Healing Lodge out there. I applied for that. I got in. I spent 2 years learning First Nations healing approaches and philosophies. And during that time, there was 2 brothers that came and showed us how to do the bows. We spent a week, 8 hours a day for a whole week, learning how to put these things together. We learned the stories, the importance of prayer, you know, to ask for the right things. So now in my prayers, all I say is thank you. Because if I ask for the wrong thing, I know you don't ask for strength because he's going to put things in front of you to make you stronger or to realize that you already are strong. So we worked day in, day out. We have the tools at the back. I'm going to ask Chris, Chris, if you could bring up that, no, okay, that too. Yeah, that'll work too. But that whole bench would be awesome. So when we learned about making these bows, I didn't understand how much work there was to it. And it really made me question, how the heck did they do that before? You know, because there's a lot of work, and we're using new tools now. When it comes to the traditional use, I really couldn't imagine the people that had to make them, and I understand now the importance of those people and the knowledge that we have. So it's pretty simple. The tools that we have is one, this bench. The bench lays back, slide the wood in there, push our foot down on the lever here. The wood comes through here, and this here, tool right here, we pull that skin off the wood, or the wood. And we keep pulling that wood. Everyone knows of the lines that are on the wood. When you look at the tree and how that tree grows, there's a thicker piece and a little smaller dark circle. And people count those to see how old that tree is. Well, the trick to bow making is that you only want one season. You want to scrape down till you see the winter, and then lightly scrape that off until you have the summer, which is the thicker part of the wood. And that's all one piece. You can see on the back here the different layers. There's the summer, then there's winter, then a little bit more summer and winter combined into the back. But on the front, it has to be all one, so it shows its strength.